Hello dear students, you are welcome in this video. So you see the frame is changed. It is not our regular frame, and you can see behind me here is the cotton plucked from the farm. Actually the very reason is that I came to my native village. It is a small village, and my parents belong to the farmers family, or I am from a farmers family. But still I thought that I should make videos for you, though I came to my village for a few days. Actually, I am on vacation. So, dear students, today we are going to talk about the chronology in restoration period. As you listened or watched the chronology in the Puritan age, and in this video, we are going to have the next part of the same series, History of English Literature. So today we are going to discuss about the chronology, major historical and literary events in restoration period. So let's start. So dear students, as you can see, this is hash 22nd history of English literature, chronology of restoration period, and we are going to cover last half of the 17th century, and we are going to cover important historical and literary events. So let's discuss with historical events. Here very first we have 1649 execution of Charles the First, and here you also see the second event, historical event, which is right from 1649 to 1660, and this is the Commonwealth of England, or Commonwealth period, generally you can say. Dear students, if you look at this Commonwealth, this period is very crucial, because in this period we found that England came in the form of a republic which included Scotland, Ireland, and England, and from there they actually, it is a political structure, and there is a lot of changes in the political structure in this period 1649 to 1660. And we find in the same period we have in 1653 Oliver Cromwell came on the throne, or he is called as the Lord Protector of England, and the Republic is formed. Many political experiments were held in this period 1649 to 1660. Next, we have 1660 restoration of Charles II, and again we found that Charles II came on throne in 1660. Next event is 1665 to 1666. In this 1 year, we found there are some or three major events happened historical. The Great Plague erupted in 1665 to 1666. Then we have Fire of London and War with Holland. So these three events marked in this 1 year. Next, we have 1667 Dutch fleet in the Thames. Now, this Dutch fleet 1667 is important because for the first time in home waters, the British Navy or the English Navy was defeated very severely, and it was one of the worst defeat of English Navy by the Dutch Navy. And there we find many ships were attacked in the river called Thames. So Thames is the river in London or in England. So this Dutch fleet in Thames becomes an important event in this historical event. Dear students, next we have 1680 rise of Whigs and Tories. Now these Whigs and Tories are two political parties which established latter very important role in English country, or in English empire, and we found that these are basically opposite political parties, the Whigs and Tories, based on the different political philosophy. And at that time we found there were concerns of political and religious, and in these concerns we have these two political parties, Whigs and Tories. Next we have 1685 James the Second came on throne, uh, and again we have Monmouth's rebellion in the same year. Now what is this Monmouth's rebellion? Monmouth's rebellion is basically a rebellion against King James the Second, because King James the Second is accused of having the views of Catholic Church, or basically he is related to the religion of that period. And Duke of Monmouth, who is illegitimate son of King Charles II, wanted to come on throne, and hence he rebelled against King James II. So this is the Monmouth's rebellion in 1685. Next, we have 1688 English Revolution and William of Orange called to the throne. Now, if you look at the history of English people, you will find there are many upheavals. Now, in 1685, King James II came on throne, and again in 1688, there happened a bloodless revolution, which is called bloodless revolution of the English people in 1688. And Mary, who was daughter of King James II, and her husband, called William of Orange, who was a Dutchman, came on throne with this bloodless revolution in England in 1688. Next, we have 1689 Bill of Rights or Toleration Act. Now, in this Bill of Rights, people talked about their own rights, and the rights of the rights of worship was provided to people through this Bill of Rights, and the rules of taxation also made smooth for people. Or there was a thing which is given to Parliament, that without Parliament no taxation is fixed. So interference of Parliament or the consent of Parliament made mandatory in this Bill of Rights. And Toleration Act given uh, freedom to worship, freedom to the religion, freedom to the different sects which practice there in England with this Toleration Act in 1689. Now, dear students, next we have literary events. Very first, 1651, Hobbes Leviathan was composed. Then we have 1660 to 1669 Pepys Diary. Then we have 1662 Royal Society founded. Now you can see the Royal Society of London, which is earlier called, and in 1662, basically it is founded in 1660 as the Royal Society of London. But with the Royal Charter of King Charles II, this 1662 Royal Society was given more rights and more authenticity, and this is the oldest society in the world which promotes science and literature, founded in England. So this society is important not only in history but in literature, also in scientific uh, terms or in scientific temper. We can understand this Royal Society of London. Next, we have 1663 Butler's Hudibras published, 1667 Milton's Paradise Lost and Dryden's Annus Mirabilis, 1663 to 1694 Dryden's dramas. Actually, we already talked about these Dryden's dramas, the period of composition of Dryden's dramas, in the earlier uh, video. 1663 to 1694 Dryden composed many dramas. Next, we have 1671 Paradise Regained, a Milton's great work. Next, we have 1678 Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress published. Now, dear students, let me clear one thing, that Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress was already composed, but it is published in 1678. So please remember this date, 1678, Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress published. Next, we have 1681 Dryden's Absalom and Achitophel, an important work in the history of English literature. Next, we have 1687 Newton's Principia proves the law of gravitation. As we all know about Newton and his law of gravitation, so he stated this law of gravitation in Principia, the most important work in the science. In We can understand how this law has changed the science and the attitude of people of that time. So in Principia we have Newton's law of gravitation. You know, very popular thing about Newton, that he thought, why apple fell down and not uh, it went up, or not he it just remained in the air, why it fell down on the earth. So this was the popular thing. Next, we have 1690 Locke's Human Understanding, a treatise based on the development of human psyche and the origin of ideas. We actually also talked about this in the earlier video. Next, we have 1698 Jeremy Collier's attacks stage in his notorious A Short View of the Immorality and Profaneness of the English Stage. This Jeremy Collier criticizes the dramatists like William Wycherley, John Dryden, William Congreve, D'Urfey for their use of profane language, for their concerns on religion, for their profaneness, according to him, which they bestowed on the religion, or which they talks about religion, everything he criticizes or attacks on these dramatists like John Dryden. Next, we have last literary event in this period, that is event 13, 1700 Dryden's death. So dear students, this is all about the historical and literary events. You might understood many things through this. If you have any problem, any query, please comment me. And if you feel anything about history of English literature, you are open or you are free to comment in the comment section. So thank you very much for watching this complete video. Please like this video, share this video among your friends, and subscribe to Literature Simply if you don't have subscribed yet. And please tell me about this changed frame. I am at my village. Thank you very much. Let's meet in the next video.